It's now time for Remember When with Uncle John. John Guess, Ouachita County's resident storyteller and local historian. Sit back now and enjoy a walk down memory lane as John recalls the days of yesteryear in his own unique way. You never know, some of it might even be true. So here's Uncle John, along with his trusty sidekick, Kelly Blair.
Back on Remember When with Uncle John. Well, here we are at the next best thing to a Friday. Steamrolling through this week like nobody's business, but you know what? We still got our same great sponsors, including ProMed Ambulance Service. They've been with us almost from the start, John. I mean, Sherwin-Williams might be the only one that's been with us longer.
ProMed Ambulance, 1-800-634 0436. Give them a call and get signed up. Tell them Uncle John and Kelly sent you.
Without question, also, as the aforementioned Sherwin-Williams House Paint, 836-8125. Call that number. Ask for Greg Bradshaw, or the guy who answers the phone. If it's not Greg, could probably help you out too. Say, man, I'm painting up the outside of my house, and I need some paint. And they're like, yeah, you're going to need some of this. You're probably going to need some of that. They're not trying to oversell you, upsell you, sell you a bunch of crap that you don't need. They got it figured out more than you do. They're trying to save you a trip. Not only are they trying to save you money, they're trying to save you time and effort and all that kind of good stuff. Listen to them when they point you in the right direction over there at Sherwin-Williams House Paint, 315 Jefferson Street, 836-8125.
And we got the Shopper's Guide, 836-3022. Give them folks a call, and they'll take care of all your printing needs.
And if you talk to one of your friends today and say, man, did you hear that funny stuff over on Remember When with Uncle John? They said, man, I missed it today. I just couldn't get out of bed and get going that early and everything. Tell them, well, just go over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. Pull it up right there. You can listen to it to your heart's desire.
Absolutely.
Podcast.
Absolutely.
What do you want to talk about here on the next best thing to a Friday, my man?
Well, do you have any concept of what took place on June 8th, 1969?
69? I would guess moon landing.
No, you're a couple of weeks short right there.
A couple of weeks. I was close.
About a month short, actually.
Okay.
A month and a half short.
Still weeks.
Mickey Mantle Day, Yankee Stadium.
Hey!
Gave his retirement speech in front of 60,096 people. They retired to number 7, and his career was over.
Well, there you go.
Debuted in 1951, the Commerce Comet from Commerce, Oklahoma.
And there's a whole generation of people now, of course, it being, you know, when TV started first coming out and all that kind of good stuff. Playing for the Yankees certainly didn't hurt, but there are all kinds of people said Mickey Mantle was the man for an entire generation of baseball boys.
For somebody that did not take care of himself and did not apply himself to the part of baseball that he should have, he was phenomenal.
There you go.
He was fabulous. But had he taken care of himself better and concentrated more on baseball instead of being a hero away from the field,
yep,
he would no doubt have been the greatest. But in a lot of people's minds, he was the greatest.
Oh, yeah. And like we said, childhood hero. I mean, just that all-American look, you know, blonde, broad-shouldered, fast as a deer. When you talk about, I mean, if you actually want to talk about the baseball aspect of it, I think they might have invented the term five-tool player for Mickey Mantle. Actually, they probably invented it generations before that. But he fit the bill for a five-tool player. Could hit with power, had the speed, could play defense. He could do it all.
You know, of course, it was a little before my time. I wasn't really old enough to appreciate it. But I can remember that when the Yankees were on TV, my daddy was watching it.
There you go.
Because between Sandy Koufax with the Dodgers and Mickey Mantle with the Yankees, that was my daddy's two favorite players.
And that's what it's all about right there. Actually taking some time out and enjoying that great stuff. Again, that's why a whole generation grew up thinking Mickey Mantle, nobody got any bigger than it. I know my Uncle Sonny was born in 1950. And so Mickey Mantle would have been right there in his prime when Sonny was watching baseball as a kid growing up. I thought he named his first son Mickey after Mickey Mantle. I was told later, no, it wasn't. He named him after a childhood friend.
That got killed on a bicycle down there on 57 out of Stevens.
Exactly. But I grew up most of my life thinking Sonny named his first child after Mickey Mantle. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of Mickeys in that generation.
Yes, there are. And, you know, Billy Crystal, the great comedian Billy Crystal, idolized Mickey Mantle.
Yes.
And that was his all-time favorite baseball player and his all-time greatest hero. Bob Costas, probably the same, but he was truly a legendary athlete and was a springboard for the modern sports hero.
Oh yeah, without question. And he, when you say springboard for anything modern, that means he was a pioneer. He was one that kind of broke the mold for everybody and everything. So really cool.
But he was human, and he was a male, and he was the alpha male, and a good-looking alpha male with money in his pocket and a new car sitting under him. So he was a magnet for home wrecking young women and bartenders and for gangsters and everything else.
For an entire generation.
And him and Whitey Ford, they were.
That was the definition of a man right there.
That's right. I like to thank Randy Stennett and myself for the Mickey Mantle and Whitey Ford of our hometown.
Of Red Hill, probably.
That's right.
I think
Absolutely.
we can. Yeah. How about that scene?
I think we're more like Gus and more like Gus and Woodrow. But
there you go. Absolutely. How about that scene in City Slickers, though, when Billy Crystal, he's played a character in the movie.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Billy Crystal is talking when he says, "My dad took me to Yankee Stadium, and so this was our first game in color because it was all black and white TV then."
Yeah.
And he said, "Man, the sights and the sound," and Mickey hit one out.
That's right.
It was a great day. That's going to wrap up Remember When with Uncle John here for today, folks. But we'll be right back here tomorrow. Top Tune Friday coming at you before you know it. We'll see you then, John.
See you tomorrow, Kelly.
You've been listening to Remember When with Uncle John on Y95. This broadcast can be heard each weekday morning at 6:45 on South Arkansas's favorite station, Y95.